Well, hello. I am recording my little hanging out time to put some more paint on this little bad boy. I have done some white inside of here. I don't know how I'm going to get that to focus. It's not a great camera. So I'm going to second coat the red on the cloak bit here. Or no, on whatever you call that, tail coat. I don't know. Bang some white in there for the second time and hope that does enough. Yeah, but this is just, my little channel where I mess about, and I thought, hey, why don't I go live as I'm painting? So what I'm going to do, move this out of the way, is, just do a bit of painting. So I've got to, it's not going to be perfect getting in there, but just to get rid of the horrible thin coat, I'm kind of going to daub some in there. So I take a bit of Citadel paint, which you can't see very well on the camera, that's fine. Add some water, maybe a bit more paint, and just haphazardly, I'm basically going to, that does, I am seeing a better coat with that. Right into the back end. I've still got the back of the chair and the front of the chair to paint, so I'm not worried about being messy in here. And as for a colour scheme, it's kind of made up. So I did half. Well, I took suggestions, let's say. I took suggestions from a video. Yeesh. Don't know whether okay, got away with that. Putting white on silver. I don't need to necessarily correct that. Instantly, that's looking better. I'm only going to see it from certain angles. And the only person who needs to be happy with it is myself. Yeah, but I did this on a short couple of weeks back, and I was struggling to go live on my mobile phone, saying I can't go live. And yet, when I do it on the laptop, it's all right. So I'm not good at edge highlighter, but I'm just gonna daub the edge of this white brush on these bits. And I'm never gonna see that anyway, unless I turn it like that. And I've done quite a poor job of the white on here. Balance my hand on the model, flick sideways. I'm happy with that. That'll do. So, is there any more white I need? I don't think so. Although I did consider doing this shield bit white, because the feathering dry brushing worked quite well on here. It just feels like it needs something more, this shield. I've done the gold outer edge. It's got a lovely skull with kind of tentacles on. But what colour does it need to do? Maybe a bronze. Just to not be exactly the same gold. Got a scruffy bit of tissue there. So wiggle this white out a bit. And get rid of that. These are not expensive brushes at all. In fact, this one's got something of a curled end to it. Right. So that white is drying, but I can probably still get at the red without doing too much damage. I may go for a smaller brush. And I nearly set the, mind you, the base. Nearly set the base. Well, that feels like a wash. That's not what I want. this. Again, this was more just a decision I made myself, thinking this is what colour it needs. Sometimes when there's a lot of dark areas, you decide that you want a brighter colour, which is exactly what happened here. So pull it to a tip, as they tell you. Oopsie. It's weird trying to paint into a camera and see the best angle myself. So sort of holding my breath a bit. Do you know what? If I use the side of my brush and leave the darker red in the depths of the flaps, that might look like I've got more skill. You see that? Can you see that on camera? Where the one coat's really deep in the recesses. I might have to go into this by hand a little bit. I do find that holding your breath helps somewhat. Are you seeing that sort of two-tone texture there, or not sure? But certainly as it gets deeper into that V fold, I could do the far edge and not put my brush deep into the recess. It looks alright in person. So I might just leave that there. Yeah, let's not spoil that. I can always go all over it if it does look crap when it's dried off. Albeit tomorrow or whatever. Well, that was easy. And yeah, I'm not great at keeping paint right out of the head of the brush, which you're not meant to do. You're not meant to get it into this where the metal meets the road sort of thing. I like the water's clean, the head's clean when I wipe it on there. Try to keep my point. And as I say, these are absolute bagging basement brushes, so don't have to worry too much about that. Chuck that away. What's next on the little fella? I'm aware that I have only done one layer of gold, and it's quite scrappy on these. The blue could perhaps do with a touch up to, I don't know though, it looks weathered. It looks like a weathered thing, and I know that this definitely needs painting. The little ribbons that hang off his shield. I've done those before, so I think gold probably. Let's touch up the gold, which is Retributor armor, which is kind of standard amongst certainly the older Stormcast, which this model is from. Metallic's are different to the others. It has little gold metallic flecks in, which even gets in your water, so you're supposed to clean it out a bit when done. Am I using that brush? That's a bit big. I'm going to go to my more delicate brush. This I paid a substantial amount of money compared to the crap ones I have. Let's say it were a tenner or something, which for a little brush is quite a lot from my point of view. A little dab of water just thins it out a little bit, and pull into a point. And dear, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, even with my glasses on. So I'm getting I'm sort of tickling it to paint it, but the eye is telling me that light is catching it. I sort of seeing the wetness, perhaps. Oops. So don't want to go down. I don't want to pull down this line of the shield. So I want to kind of get my tip, and at some point there I wasn't even touching it. But yeah, you sort of hint at the paint, refocus your eyes a bit. I can pull along these prongs, that's all right. As I say, I'm not entirely sure yet what to do with this tentacle skull. So that's definitely not technically, that has had 2 coats on there. Let's go to the back of his helmet. What's happening there? That's not a good coat of paint anymore on that brush. I'm going to reapply. Perhaps I did go for too small a brush. Ooh, that's a right dollop. And it's lumpy. So get it to a consistency. I'm going to rinse that brush out because this is my good brush. So just dab that water away. Right. Shake some. You get water all up here like beads. You know what? Somebody watched for a second then, and then thought, "What's this idiot doing? This is rubbish." But it's all right because this is not going to change the world. This is for my own pleasure. It's like fishing, but I'm almost not looking at the rod float. It doesn't matter. So I am not a good painter. Let me get that on the live stream. I am doing this for my own pleasure. Because a hobby is something you have to enjoy, isn't it? Oh, don't speak while you're doing that. Yeah, so all I'm doing is enjoying the process. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If I made a mess of it, have I enjoyed this? Yeah. In a sense, I don't love painting, but painting for the channel is motivation, where otherwise there's little reward. At least some, the hope of some reward is someone says, "Oh, that's good." That's about it, isn't it? So am I living for your approval? Is that what I'm saying? And it's not about the process. Okay, it's both. I'm living for your approval. It's good motivation. It's practice. I guess I like the idea of showing that, hey, I'm rubbish at it too, but it doesn't stop me. And even being rubbish, you can actually get a good enough job done. Yeah, sorry, not much I can do about the camera. It's a fairly cheap one, but we can hang out together. One day, somebody might be quite involved and give me tips. That'd be nice. So I did put a little bit of green, if you can make out that green in that circle. That was copied off a video. I thought, why not? I don't know. I don't have any better plans. So I know on the video I did watch as inspiration, they had kind of two-tone goals on this. So I'm wondering if I use what you've got, and I do have 2/3 different golds. Although one I always think of as more yellow. And I guess I could try. So I haven't done gold on the back of the dragon mask. So where can I lean my hand? Lean my hand like that. It's really not that important. I just don't want it black. When my son picks it up and turns it around and then says, "You haven't done the back of the helmet," as if he's bothered. I want that to be done. So really, it's just got to be on the slightest glance and peruse. God, that emblem thing, this is a curly thing around whatever that is. It's just got edges on it. I've got to get to this finest point, rest my hand, and as I say, tickle it. Oh yeah, I can see this. Oof, right, that's it. I got around it. Is that everything? I feel like that's still a bit dull under there. Right, I think that's the goal done. And the good thing about this is it doesn't take a long time to dry. So central here, it's got some sort of a skull, bits spin off it, and then it has, I can't remember what you call them, but there's like crests there. No, pieces of paper, standard bearer. Anyway, we're gonna paint that a lightish scroll colour. I'm supposed to wash that water out because of the metallic flecks. But do you know what? It's up to me. And I'm a rebel. What can I tell you? I'm a rebel. I'm not going to do it because it's still quite clean. So Rakath Flesh or Screaming Skull. I think I've made this problem. I made this mistake before. Screaming Skull I found to be a bit too light. I think you're meant to do that. I could put, then you put a wash over it. Right, so we've got one on his shield, these like scrolls. Is that the word? If you play Warhammer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Purity seals, something like that. Right. Little end. Find a clean spot on your paper. This is quite a plasticky paper, this as well. Because job-wise, I come from the land of printing, and so I managed to cut myself some really shiny paper. I thought that'll be good for my paint palette. Right, I'm going purely for my own angle here. I've seen people have those big, like, magnifying glasses. Maybe one day I'll go that route. Or maybe my eyesight just won't be up to scratch enough, and it'll still be blurry. Even though I can see it bigger, it'll still be blurry. Also, I'm not sure that I am that invested. If I don't like it, something kicks in where I'm like, that'll do. Who cares? And convince myself that I don't really care. But I'd love it to look good. But I just don't know how to make it look actually good. You know, when you don't know the process. I do know a good painter. And he is open to me asking, but this is for fun. I'm not stressing about it. Am I coming across like Bob Ross? That's how I feel. But that's not a bad. That's not a bad thing. Happy little accidents. Right, so I'm pointing this in more than sorry, painting. the floating hand is ill-advised. You have to kind of, whether it's gripping yourself or gripping something, resting your hand. That's not going too bad. Just it goes right the way. Now I'm just about to do exactly what I shouldn't be doing. Is that not resting my hand? We're going to put. There is some indentations of script written in these deep recesses, and as it dries and sets in, there will be some recesses left that I fill in with a wash, and then we'll just call that done, because I don't know any other way other than just throw a wash in it, and that's that, and walk away from that bit. I don't know how they get them looking as good as I've seen them on other models. So we're going for a lighter colour for the paper, and then the lettering will be a wash. And the wash is so thin it just sits in these recesses that the model has. And as I say, there's a big voice in my head saying, they know, they can paint better than you. Well, don't tell them how to do it. So I'm imagining I'm talking to one of those people who don't, or haven't got the confidence to just give it a wow. I'm just making up words now. And I'm even making up the image by the looks of it. Right, as long as I can get rid of most of that black of the model, it's these bits, these just kind of mysteriously stop. I can see the end of there. Right, I'm simply just looking for where I haven't got paint now. I think that'll do. Maybe there. Right, that will do. That is one coat, because the way to do it is to put two on. I've just noticed he's got this skull bird kind of face on the front. He's actually got on his shoulder as well, so I must remember to match those with the colour. Yeah, that red's dried, the white's dried, gold's pretty much dried. That's what I do enjoy about this paint. You can actually crack on a bit. It's the washes what take a long time. The handle of his sword has to be the particular red that I have. Was it Bugman's Glow? That's Pink Horror. I've been using that colour for the rats. Ouch, my knuckle. That needs the lid squeezing on, which is another problem. And Bugman's Glow. I really don't know if it was, but I can always paint over it. It's a good enough starting colour. And then we're going to need some Agrax Earthshade, or are we going to? Yeah, we're going to do Agrax Earthshade. If I can find it, rather than Null Noil, because it goes better on gold than Null. Null Noil. This is more of a brown, so that's good for the wash. Can't quite remember what the idea was with the hammer itself, and since no one's watching, I can just chill out and look at the actual images, because I did save an image of the one off the TV. Here we go. So, yeah. Okay, they've got quite the detail on there, haven't they? They've done a gold end. Yeah, I suppose that's all right. Yeah, I'll do that maybe. Oof, quite a lot of detail in there. Okay. Yeah, so I did kind of take some style off this, but I know it's not going to look as beautiful as this. But you sort of, oh yeah, you do the black toenails on it, and you got to look at something and have ideas. So yeah, red handle, gold, sort of either end of the handle. It's got a silver end. I mean, they've gone for blue. Just this sort of area really is dependent on what sort of ink I have. It's called paint, actually, Chris. Right. Go for this handle colour. A lot of the time, these paints just separate into their constituent parts after a while. Certainly, they've not been used, so they require a really good shake. I'm not confident that this is the correct red. Not confident at all. Look at this again. Now I am confident it is. I'm fairly happy with that. It's what's happening. It's happening right now. Because we're not going to worry about it. If it looks crap, we've got the opportunity to do it again. Now, eyes. I'm going to need some work from you at this moment. Ignore what my mouth is doing and just let me hit all those spots. So you can't see that very well, but I'm doing the handle. Going down by the cloak, and if I can't get in, I'm thinking, well, then if I can't get my brush in, there might be a factor that you can't actually see anywhere. Just turning the model so I get the roundness. I know I'm on about. I'm trying to paint it all. It's got some white fingers under there where I've daubed the white cloak ink on the back of his glove. We'll get that later, or maybe we won't. What about that? Some gold for either end. Again, probably need 2 coats on this, but leave that to dry a minute. As you can see, I kind of, particularly for this video, I'm a little bit more rushed. I'm kind of do a bit of that, go a bit of that, go a bit of that. Sometimes you sort of do a piece, wait for that to dry, do that piece because you've got your paint out. But whereas I'm quite happy to hit and run, keep going back to it. Those seals now are almost dry already. So rather than have the exact same gold, I'm looking for this is it, Balthazar gold, which is a real like bronzy colour. Is that going to look crap? It's not going to look crap because it's going to be different. Looking at it with my eye, I think if it's all gold, kind of it's less variety. So I am going to do a gold. It's just that it's a bronzy gold, and I'm going to hope that just the eyeball says, yeah, that's nice. There's variety there. So a tiny bit of water goes to a spike. I think I'll be brave and go. It's easy to access. Just dab this silver bit. It blends in. It was a bad option. You can't even tell the difference between the handle and this bronze colour. Okay, we're ejecting. That looked identical. Two different paints, pretty much identical. So we are going to go full gold. Or do I have that yellowy gold still? What's this? Retributor armor again. Is this it? Auric armor gold, but it's quite It's quite yellow. Is it going to be stupid? Well, it's proper white now because it's all separated. See if we can get some life back into this. Anyway, what have you been up to? No one's watching anyway. I can say what I want. Yeah, I can't even remember where I bought this. What I bought it for. Probably got tricked into buying it when I was in store. Oh, Jesus. Is that dead now? Perhaps this is so separated that the bottom ink is actually... What's going on? I'm not getting any colour out of that. Okay. I'm going to shake that and sort that out off stream, I think. Next. Looking at these seals to wash. Agrax Earthshade on the gold. Need to do black toenails. So I can put the wash on. Am I going to go big brush? I think I'm going to go big brush. Right. This is proper wet. And I get the wet brush, drop it on, and it will sit in the recesses that it finds. It can, you know what, it can go in the purity seal because that's all I'm going to use anyway. So just daub this all over, let it run down as gravity intends without being overly, where it starts to go brown, I pull it back off, I can reapply on this helmet, allows it to go down, just settles into the recesses. Blob on that, that's too light. Blob a little bit there. To the side, delicately apply along the top. Ooh, that was thick. I can get it in a minute. Yeah, you can just like get your brush off and reapply so it soaks it up. Back of the helmet. No, it's not a helmet, it's a neck. What is it? Neck shield or something. No real recesses to find on that. And if you can see on the shield there, bit blobby. Just a bit less blobby there. But there's some to dry. That's quite blobby in there. All it really does is darken the gold. But it's worth doing, right? So you can really see it more on the shadows as it sits in the recesses there. Easy as that. That's the magic glue that can make it start to look like you're a good painter, no matter your skill level. Well, black talons, and I think we'll see what happens. So tiny black talons with my little brush. I don't even need to water this down. It's such a small area. I'm going for these toe nails. And I'm going to go the further ones in first. So I'm going for the deeper ones. I find the inner parts I tend to do first and work my way out, because now that leaves this nail. Oh, I've got a really messed up brush. But essentially this one's the easier one to do, to get at. That's good. It really looks good, the white against the black. Looking at a different angle, trying to see if there's an obvious white bit. So that's that foot. Pull to a tip. He's got more nails on here. You probably won't be able to tell if I even do brush against this stone that he's stood on, because it's black and white. So bit more paint just to pull that brush end. Yeah, my eyes are failing me. Going quiet because I'm sniping it. As a sniper, you've got to shut your mouth. Is that halt? Oh, it's there. That'll do. Then some on his back paw, which is up on the stone. He has talons. Hold your breath a bit. Steady near the white, and then as it goes further down, it can be a bit more haphazard. Oh, it just looks like blobs. I trust the process. I trust that the human brain will make sense of that once it's dried and is all matte. And there's a little toe through here, which I'm getting from this side. And I can just pull it along the base of the toes to flick around. Oh, I daubed it a bit. Well, it's all right. It's okay. Right, I think that's that. You know, it'll do for now. Oh, Matt X said sick at some point. Thanks. I think he's gone. I don't think it says there's nobody watching. So yeah, it's kind of a process of getting some washes on that as well. I imagine that will be Nuln Oil. And then I've got you can see the white streak on the back of the chair that he's actually sat. There's a back of a chair that sticks out. And I feel like brown, because it just needs some separation. So I want a proper saddle brown on that, which I guess I'd paint at this sort of angle, you know, pull towards me to get it out. And then this area sort of sticks out, and then there's in the front of him. Realistically, I've got the tail to do, and this sprinkle whatever base on. Oh yeah, there's a bit of shield, and I'm not far off the end really for this one, but I've got so many more models to paint. So, ooh, look how the purity seal stuff's pulled into like a black mess at the front. So what with that though? That's not too bad. That's not actually a worry. I am now. So I've got that little base paint on. I'm getting my little dabby brush. And I'm just going to make sure that those letters on there receive a good soaking inside of the wash, because I will end up reapplying on a very outer level outside of those. Are you following what I'm saying? I'm going to put. Can you see it? Can you see it? Probably not. In that writing anyway. Oh, I need to do that on the shield. I'm going for the inner bits so that the outer bits can be painted lighter, almost like a dry brush. So get some of that shadowing on there. You know what they did? I'll tell you what they did. They did some like muck. I'm just gonna mucky up with that Agrax Earthshade there. The end of his hooves, claws, talons, just so it shows that he's not perfect white and he actually has been walking in mud. So yeah, while I've got it out, daub some mud on there. I could do it on the bottom of his tail, but I feel that's too much. So now there's some sort of muck on there. I feel like for today, my little jump on stream, I've already done 40 odd minutes. I think we'll call that done for today. I'll see if anyone ever watches this stream. That might not even matter. But hey, thank you for chilling out with me in any way. If anyone watches, get in touch. Tell me about your models. All right. See you later. Goodbye.